In the last video that I sent you, I talked about our failures and about how our fear to fail can prevent us from doing and being the best that we can. Well, we're way past big speech time, but bear with me. I ended the video with a question and had you answer that question in the Google form. What is one thing that you have always wanted to try in your classroom but never have? Several of us gave heartfelt answers that clearly showed that we had given that question some thought. They were ideas that would really stretch us and would create a potential opportunity for failure. But on the other hand, most of us put down an answer, though it was thoughtful, yet I don't believe would really push us to the point that failure might be a real option. Now, my answer to that question as a teacher probably would have been a good one. My lesson would have been different. It would have taken some extra planning, and I think students would have enjoyed the change. But this nagging thought kept coming to my mind. Was my idea for a radical lesson really radical at all? Or was it just the same old safe thing I always did, just wrapped in a different package? My idea was this: do a class history walk. I would take the kids outside and we would have several places around campus that we would walk to. And when we got to those locations, we would have, some sort of mini lesson or activity over the unit that we were on. Now again, there's nothing wrong with the idea. It was different. It would get the kids up and moving and out of the classroom. And it would get them engaged in a way that sitting in my class couldn't. But it was safe. And now that I am in a new role as an administrator, that original question is still there. What is something that you have always wanted to try but haven't? My answer a month ago would have been similar to my answer as a teacher. It was safe. I wanted to do faculty meetings differently and uniquely, so I put them during lunch. And last month I tried flipping our meetings. Was it a change? Yes. Was it outside the box? Well, I think so. Was it something that could have led to failure? I guess so. But over the last month, as I have reflected on this idea, I realized that though I could have been laughed at, and probably was, it was not an idea that truly stretched me. And that bothers me. When I was a teacher, I wanted to be a teacher that every middle school kid and freshman couldn't wait to have. I wanted to have projects and assignments, lessons, and tests that were legendary. I wanted to be mentioned every year at graduation in some form or fashion. Now, I'm not saying I know everything that there is to know about the greatest game ever invented, but I wanted to be on the short list. And when I got into administration, I wanted the same thing. I wanted to be the principal that every student and staff member always wanted. I wanted to be legendary within the community. Now, I know this sounds selfish and narcissistic, but my heart was not to be loved, but rather to do such a good job that all those accolades came naturally. Well, as I've reflected over the last couple of weeks, I realized that the new principal that I am is just a retread of the old teacher that I was. I suppose I have good ideas, and I have ideas that I think will make things better. I have ideas that I should pursue. But they are not ideas that would really answer the question, what is something that you have always wanted to try but haven't? What I have discovered is that hidden deep within that question is the understanding that the true answer is not just something new, but something that is daring, something that could be costly. The answer to that question is something that will take a lot of effort and work. To be honest, I hate that reality. I hate that to be bold and take risk, I might fail, I might get ridiculed, and I will have to work harder than I already do. But the truth is, I feel that our kids are worth it. They deserve my very best. They deserve to work. For me to work my hardest to make this school and their education the best that it can be. So now, as I ask this question, what is something that you have always wanted to try but haven't? I have a new answer. I have an answer that is hard and will take a lot of work, but for the first time, I have an answer that truly excites me. My answer to that question is to make Fordland the model technology school in Southwest Missouri. I want for our school to be the school that other school districts come to and to see how blended learning really can work. I want our school to be the school that articles are written about and that research is done with. I want us to win this one for all the small schools that never had a chance to get there. I want our school to usher our kids into their world with the best education possible, with the most opportunities that we can, and prepare them to be digital citizens of the 21st century. So my new answer is one that is exciting. It is an answer that, if done right, will affect our kids' lives for the positive. It is an answer that will provide them with an education that is the envy of other districts. Our students deserve that, and so I am dedicated to providing that to them. Now, my wife, who is the most amazing woman in the world and far smarter than I will ever hope to be, said something to me the other day that was very impactful. She said, "Fordland is a small rural farming community, but you don't have to act like it." What she said challenged me to not settle for the status quo or for what is expected. My new answer, I feel, does just that. I need your help with this goal. Just like you will need help reaching your goals and to attain your answer to the question. It's 5 players on the floor functioning as one single unit, a team. No one more important than the other. We are a team. We have to work with each other and for each other if we are going to reach our challenging goals. If you put your effort and concentration into playing to your potential to the best that you can be, I don't care what the scoreboard says at the end of the game. In my book, we're going to be winners. Is it going to be tough? Yes. Is it going to take a lot of work? Yes. But if our goal is worthy enough to be called a goal, then we have to overcome the hard and difficult times. We have to stick it out. You have to stick with your man. Think of him as chewing gum. By the end of the game, I want you to know what flavor he is. Let me leave you with the same question. What is something that you have always wanted to try but haven't? This time, really answer that question and be willing to be daring. Be willing to set yourself up for potential failure. Be willing to be ridiculed and to be radical. Now, boys, don't get caught watching the paint dry. And when you get discouraged, because we all will, remember Preacher Pearl's word to the Hickory Huskers. And David put his hand in the bag and took out a stone and slung it, and it struck the Philistine on the head, and he fell to the ground.